Hey guys, how's it going? It is Kire here with another Infinite Magicraid video. And in today's video, I'm going to be breaking down Bari and if he's actually worth investing into, where you can use him, if he's actually good. And the reason why I leveled this guy, if you guys missed this video, it was a video on Veilshut's channel where we had a fun bet where we would see who can pull more legendary slash epics during the raid up for the Dragon Tribe faction. And then the stakes on the line were whoever lost had to get their next legendary Dragon Eye picked by the other person. So since I lost, he picked Bari because he wanted to see it for himself, just if he's any good or not, because he looks good on paper, but this kind of character, he's unique enough to where you don't really know for sure until you try him, in my opinion. And after trying him, I think this guy's insane, and I just wanted to show him off because not only is he insane, but he's actually he's just a fun character. He's unique enough, you can change your builds enough with him, depending on where you take him, depending on how you build him. I like characters like this. There's a lot going on for him. So let's break down his kit really quick so you guys get an idea, and then I'll show you where I've been using him and where I've had success with him. So first move is going to be his auto attack, deals 140% attack damage, 220 when fully booked, with an 80% chance to inflict 1 layer burn. If you get enough affected, that's going to be 100%. Then we have the A2. This is just an AoE burn for all enemies for 2 turns, and does, what is that, 200% damage with a 75% chance. So that's just like the auto attack is going to be guaranteed with enough affected. His passive is very unique, and you'll start to see it in action to make more sense, but here's how it works. Bari gains additional crit rate equal to 20% of his mastery, and then the exclusive, he also gets crit damage due to his mastery. And so that's one of the things that I think is so good about Bari, is that he's scaling with everything. You could put crit rate on him, you could put crit damage on him, but then you also gain more just for free if you build him with mastery too. So it's pretty nuts how much stats he's actually going to get, because you can see him here, 46.9% crit rate, 178% crit damage, but you also need affected, you also need mastery. But I really like characters like this where they make it to where this is a character applying debuffs. So normally direct damage dealers don't have to worry about affected, but because he has to worry about affected, you get extra stats from the mastery. I just think this is a really good design mechanic for characters like this. They know that you're not going to be building effect hit, so why don't you get rewarded for building the right thing, and then they just give you the extra damage because they know he's going to need it. So 20% of his mastery, he gets his crit rate. Then Bari has a gun for 5 bullets. The bullets will be fully reloaded at the beginning of each wave, and Bari's every action turn, so you get it constantly, whether it be the beginning of the wave or when he just happens to go. Then he shoots a bullet whenever an enemy target takes detonation damage, dealing 120% attack damage, which doesn't seem like much, but it increases, it has piercing rate on it. If the target dies due to the detonation damage, Bari will target another enemy. Each bullet has 40%, which is actually what, 100% piercing rate. So basically most of his moves just ignore defense, is how that works with the bullet. And then it happens out of turn. So if you build him with another burner, potentially he's going to be attacking out of turn and firing those bullets there, but he usually just procs him himself because you have the ultimate here. And I really like this about burners. You can tell a burner's good damage wise specifically is if they can proc the burn on the same turn they're using the move. So he has 3 stages of this attack damage, plus it has a 70% chance to apply 1 layer of burn, which is also going to be guaranteed with enough effect hit over them. But because it has multiple stages, first stage applies the burn, second stage detonates it, third stage leaves a burn. So then if you have another burner, they can come over the top and nuke them. The only other character that has something like this is Gunner. Gunner can do it, but it's only 2 stages. So keep that in mind. And what's nice about this is because he has 3 stages, then he can come over the top with this. That's going to all proc and do detonation damage. If he counterattacks with his auto attack, that's going to do detonation damage. Then every single time that happens, he's going to start shooting people with his gun on his passive there with the bullets. Let's see this in action. I think he's easily one of the hardest hitting nukers I've seen in this game, and I just want to show off just how hard he hits. So here we are on floor 27, and I'm going to be putting in pollen, and I'll show you guys how he can nuke the second wave. Here, if I go here, buff, that adds extra damage with the passive, and then you'll go here, and then so that's how much that does. But here, check out his ult. So he just nukes everyone, all the bullets go through. Here, we'll just try it again. Let's just get through this, and then I'll nuke the next wave too. And to give you an idea, they all have 600,000 health, 594, 605, and he just like one-shot them basically. Combination of the passive. And so then here, the whole point of this, not to beat it, I just want to show the nuking damage here. So we'll loop back around. And then We'll also highlight, you can also see Zia's damage as we're doing this. One thing about resetting ultimates that's kind of annoying is that you got to come back here and click it again. Like Ben Austin at E3, also with Zia, and she gets her reset. You can accidentally ult pretty easily. And then here, you have an idea of just the detonation damage. See, he has burn here. Let's just attack him. That's a ton of damage. It's like 255,000 damage just from one detonation, which is hilarious. This is just going to be a good representation of just his damage here. So we have that. So I think that's pretty good. And then now notice that we only had like 50% crit rate and then 170 crit damage. Now you can see just how much his passive is giving him, especially when you have a Me1. It's very good. And then also with more attack and stuff, like I haven't have much invested in the Force Mark Tower. So you can make this guy, like imagine what he can do with like a little bit more attack or with an attack booster. It's gonna be pretty crazy. I've had multiple videos struggling to beat stage 24, but with him, I was able to finally beat it. And then here we can just auto stage 22. I can't really auto stage 23 consistently, but I'll just kind of give you guys an idea of what he does in here. So before, I haven't been able to auto this, and then he just absolutely nukes this wave, and it's almost like I'm killing things too fast because Catherine's not having enough time to get her cooldowns back up. That was his A2. We can kind of show off his damage here. So and then he killed him, so then he was able to shoot someone else again. There's another example of the counterattack working really well. That right there, I really like that, where he came in, attacked, killed him, and then was able to shoot again. Or proc the detonation and then attacked again and killed him, which I think is pretty sick. And I really like him on bosses too. He's more of a AoE clearer. He's not like a clan boss damage character or a guild boss damage clearer, but he at least does good damage for this because what he's going to be doing is just procking that burn damage consistently. So like great. You'll at least see how he applies it there. And now he just procced it. He not only procs it, but then attacks again. So notice how he's doing that. So it's like not nearly as much damage single target as Zia, for example, but he provides so much in the AoE section. I think it's really good. And you could probably use him as a nuker for arena as well if you throw him in with like a Bissadin or with a focus. So we're going to try that here in a second. But I think this is pretty solid. And then you look at his damage here. To give you an idea, he did more damage than Zia. And then look at the difference in the gearing between Zia and him. So she's exclusive 4. He's exclusive 1. They both do AoE damage. But he's still doing that. The emblems here, fully done, obviously. But then aura-wise, I only have 18% Mastery Expert and only at level 0 versus Zia's like fully maxed. Like, look at this. I just poured everything into maxing her. Level 30, fully done, Victory Rush Aura. Still does more damage than her in that situation, to really give you an idea of just how good Bari is, in my opinion. Let's just do one more thing. We'll do arena. Okay, so 2,000, not that fast, but at least fast enough, I think, for this. Just for this showcase, we'll have Bari in here. You get this off auto because I think Catherine has more attack than her. Let me see, 2,729. So on auto, I don't think he would choose Bari, and ideally he would be fast too, but it's just not going to be the case. So you want to have him fast, make him go. If I had Bissadin level up, I'd probably choose Bissadin over this. So let's see how much damage this is. Okay, I would say that's pretty good. How much does the Luna have? Yeah, in the 700,000 range, I think that's pretty good health. Like my Catherine's in that same range too, and it almost killed her. She has a lot of defense, like so shockingly high amount of defense. So I'd say this is a pretty well built out. And we got this. And then unfortunately, my team is pretty scuffed because Catherine's my highest attack character. Okay, and then we have one thing of burn here. Let's see how much damage that does. Yeah, I would say that's pretty good. 14,000 off of a burn detonation. I want to kind of loop back around and see if... Oh, here we go. So here's another 19,000. So I'd say that's pretty good damage. And then we got that right there. So overall, I'm very happy with Bari. I think he's totally worth building. If I was more invested into this faction here as well, I have a lot more red than I do this. So if I was like really into this faction for Tower Mark, I think it's gonna make a big difference. He's a character that wants every stat in the game. Like he wants attack, he wants speed, he wants effect hit, he wants mastery, crit rate, crit damage. Like you can't give him enough stuff, but he at least maximizes all of that to its fullest because of this passive here. So I think that's a really cool thing about him. It's just gonna be tough to gear him. And then one last thing I do want to say about him though is that he's probably one of the best users of the Fearless set. I don't know if people are really focusing on the Fearless set, but this is such a good set for him in my opinion because it's crit rate, leech, mastery, all the things you would want on him. These are hard sets to get, especially the leech plus mastery combo. Like that just doesn't exist really. So it's like all this stuff is really good, and this is a hard set to come by, but he's one of the best users of it in my opinion, because a lot of times it's like you want crit rate but you don't really want mastery. Like that's not something that's very common. Like Nidrold, he wants mastery but he doesn't want crit rate because he can't crit damage doesn't matter. Usually like Azia for example doesn't care about mastery. I think he's like the only damage dealer I can really think of that would like to have both. Like you can argue kind of like Melia would want that, but not really. It's not at least on the level of a Bari in my opinion. So that's pretty much it when it comes to this video here on Bari. Curious to hear in the comments below what you guys think of him. He's easily one of my favorite characters of the game. He's so much fun to use. Might not necessarily be one of the best, but he's unique enough to where you can put him in scenarios that make him a lot of fun to try. So if you are on the fence about building him, I would say give it a go. I think he's totally worth it. So with that guys, I am out of here. Peace.